Welcome back to Trent's, welcome back to the channel. We haven't seen part one, part two. We're dismantling a Mercedes that cost us £5,200 to dismantle. Had a bit of water damage, it's been rolled over. We've extracted some parts here now that we need to see if we can get through quality control and see if we can get them on the shelf and sold. Let's see what we can do. Right, as we've decided to take these parts up to BH1, everyone's decided to F off to on lunch, so looks like we've got to do this one ourselves. Let's get this up, so yeah. Keep the parts nice and safe just to transport to the other facility. Let's see if I can get it up this hill though. Look at that, get me in the lineup on the rugby squad. I've arrived at our component processing area where we do our quality control of parts. As I mentioned before, clean them, quality check them over, put all the details in the system and package them. In total, we've managed to extract 36 parts from this Mercedes. Some of the parts are here, some of them are dropped from the drivetrain and being processed already. But we've still, more importantly, got that engine and gearbox dismantled, and we need to check that over because that's where the big value is at. But before we look at the engine, let's see what we can do with these parts. We were a bit concerned about the bumper, but that looks okay, but everything's going to need to be cleaned up to really see its quality. So let's get these through the process. Heavy. Right, we're skipping this through the queue for video purposes. As you can see, there is a lot of bumpers, doors, tailgates we need to process. But we process a lot of vehicles a day. All these parts, once they're removed from the vehicle, are on the shelf, packaged, image, ready to go for the next day's delivery within 24 hours. Well, I thought I'd help out by removing the number plate first, but it's not just me. I can undo a screw, but if you're looking closely here, these are some type of anti-theft screw. So I can turn it right, but I can't turn it left to undo it. So I need to work this out, and once we've done that, then we'll come back to it. So,
right, you can either squeeze them and twist them off like that. Bit of fiddling for you. Have a go at the last one. See that was done. That one just there.
Ah, here we go.
So try and squeeze the cap, so the cap breaks.
Squeeze the cap. I don't want to damage the bumper. That's the. You're embarrassing me now. I don't mind. It's okay.
Try and squeeze and twist it.
There we go.
And now what you want to do, you want to squeeze it really tight so you've got grip of it, and then twist it anti-clockwise.
There we go. Right.
Beautiful.
This is Dan. He's helped me remove the number plate. I'm going to introduce him. Let him just talk to you about what he does in Trent's and then what we're actually going to do with this bumper. So, Dan, what is it you actually do within Trent's?
Right, so in Trent's, I run the co-pro section, so that is component processing. So, in a sense, we get all the parts that are dismantled around the site, we clean them, we inspect them, and if they pass inspection, we put them in the boxes to the shelf, ready for the customers to take away.
So we have a grading system in place, Dan, don't we? So
that's correct,
so that's the VRA grading. So how are we going to grade this bumper?
So what we need to do first of all, we're going to have to get it clean before we can do any sort of grading, okay?
Okay, yep.
So we need to get it clean so we can do a visual inspection on it.
Okay.
And then we're going to have to look out for any sort of dents, any sort of gouges, any sort of cracks, any damage to the mounting points.
Yeah, okay.
And then if we come across any of them, we'll look at the grading situation on it, okay?
Well, let's get it cleaned up then. And then start to grade this panel. Let's prep it ready for stock, yeah?
Wicked, right, so I'll leave the cleaning up to you.
Okay, great then. You could do one side, can't you, Dan?
We'll help you out, shall we? Don't want to see you break a sweat, do we?
Doesn't look too bad. Everything seems to be intact, which is what we want. We'll take a closer look at it. But you need to clean it to try to see some damage. That's the... partly the reason we're doing this, and obviously to make sure it's well presented when it goes online.
Right, now we've got this as clean as we can for the moment.
Yeah.
We will give it a visual inspection, so we're going to be looking out for any sorts of dents, any sort of cracks, any sorts of gouges.
Okay. Yeah, so in the bottom corner here, I just want to bring the camera around and have a look. It's not. Well, you classing that as gouges, Dan? What's your opinion there?
So gouges are kind of classed as, has it damaged the paint? Has it gone through the paint?
Yeah.
Can you feel it under your nails? So if you give it a little flick, can you feel it?
Yeah.
And in your opinion, would that need a bit of filler, a respray, or some sort of repair?
To me, it's looking like a respray. I don't know what your opinion is on that, to be fair.
Let's have a closer look then. Yeah, 100% now need a respray. So what we'd have to do, we'll mark that up just so the customer can see exactly what they're getting from us.
Yeah, exactly. Now go back into the middle here, Dan. What your thoughts up here? A few light marks. I mean, as you would expect with the vehicle age and everything, and obviously it is a
few stress marks. Nothing drastic, in all honesty, is it?
Yeah.
So we'll make a side note of that.
Yeah. And then over to this side.
And down this side again, you've got a few minor scratches that will polish out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So good spray paint would cover.
Yeah, good key up and a spray paint will hide the damage.
Okay.
So what we'd have to do is flip the bumper over now, so we can check any fixing points, any sort of mounting points, to make sure none of them are damaged.
Okay.
Make sure that's nice and secure. And what we want to be doing is checking all these fixing points, the clip points. Make sure they're all intact and they're not likely to snap off. So they're all in good shape. And then you've got the little hooklets at the end here. Make sure none of them are snapped off.
Yeah, these are all good this side.
That's all
Same
good.
at the bottom as well.
Yeah, any screw points, any fixing points, just check them over. They all look good to myself. Your side all looking good?
Yeah, they all look good as well, to be fair.
Fantastic. So we're happy with the damage we've seen. We will make a note of that on the system. Next, we want to put it into the imaging booth to get some images of it.
Yeah. Before we move on to that, down, notice there's two parts to this bumper. Now, when it comes to grading, how do we grade this bumper knowing there's two parts to it?
So if it's a multiple component bumper like this, if we flip it over to make it easier for you to see, you've got your one part down here. You've also got your tips, which is an additional part, and you've got your primary part. We will grade it on just the primary part only, okay? So if there's a damage to the lights, we'll look at getting them removed. If we can't get them removed easily, we'll make sure there's a comment saying damaged lights, but doesn't affect the product.
Okay. So our grading is classed on the main bumper cover.
You've got it, the main primary part, okay? These are additional parts, they don't come into the grading.
Sometimes we do inventory the parking sensors, don't we?
That's correct, yeah.
And sometimes bottom half, but on this one we've just identified it that we'll sell it as a complete rear bumper, so with the parking sensors and all the parts you see here. So
perfect.
What are you grading this one as, Dan?
So this one I'm going to stick down to as a grade B, simply because of the damage down here, where we're going to have to sand it and potentially add a bit of filler into that, okay?
Yeah, it needs a bit of work.
So that will come down to a grade B.
Okay. Well, we'll see what that will affect the price from grade A to grade B. It's a shame, but that's the nature of the industry. We'll see once we get onto the pricing shortly what it affects it as. So yeah, perfect. Let's get into the imaging bay then. Cool. So I've put in the tag reference number on here. You'll see on the images, on the system here, we've got all the images. So you'll see how clear that is. The Dan's taken a lot of photos there. Love that, Dan. Very clear. We've put a lot of work into sorting out these imaging bays, haven't you, Dan?
Yeah, we keep upgrading them. We keep looking at where we're falling behind and where we can improve.
At the moment in there, we've just got it as painted like scratches.
Yep.
What should we do from here, Dan?
So what we want to do, we agreed earlier it would be a grade B on the VRA standard. So we're going to change the user condition to the relevant grade B.
That's a grade B then.
Brilliant.
Do we need to update any comments about the item?
Yeah, so in the comment section, write a brief description of the damages you've seen, just so the customer knows where to look.
I know it was on the offside, wasn't it?
Correct, yeah.
So any comments like this, we'll also put up to eBay. I notice we haven't got the part number in there. We will put the part number in there, but we actually use an automated software to decode all our vehicles. So that's because some of these vehicles will get hundreds of parts off, or this Mercedes 36 parts off. So we don't want to go into manually that VIN number and go, what's the part number for that? Upload. So we use an API to feed that into the system. So There's no part number there now, but that will get the part number there later.
Yep, that's correct. All we need to do now is just update the location.
Yeah.
Just so we can say it's been through the quality stage. It's going to be heading to the warehouse next.
Perfect. On the racking, ready for packing. I didn't mean for that to rhyme there.
Brilliant.
So, right, we've got a few parts picked here. We've got the driver's airbag. This is the rear camera on that one. Then we've got the headlamp ballast, and then the inner tail light. That is the passenger side before we get confused. So, look, Dan, just talk us about this. This is the component process now that you manage.
Yep.
Just talk us about what happens here, why it happens here, and how we actually process parts.
Yeah, so what we've got here, this is the section where we process all the small parts, the lights, the airbags, your alternators, anything that's small, we stick down this line. We have a 3-stage checking system here, so we have 3 different guys checking it.
Okay.
Just so we can spot any defects. So in this stage, we will clean it at this stage. In a short while, you see where we image it, and then you see where we process it. So much as the panels, the same situation, just on a different scale, okay?
Yeah. What am I checking for here then, Dan?
So on the back, you want to check for the electrical connectors to make sure they haven't been cut by mistake or damaged at any point. We want to check to make sure, again, the fitting points are all good. We need to check the tag to the part again to make sure the part is correct.
Airbag, so it's got the comments there, the steering wheel airbag.
Right, let's go round to the imaging bay now.
Cool.
Brilliant. So what we've got round here is a similar setup to the panels with the white booth again. The process again is the same, it's just a different layout. So,
well, we've got some examples here, don't we? Actually, this is a very similar, like actually for a Jag of how we're processing them. So
yeah,
this is what we set up, Dan, isn't it?
Yeah. So we want to try and get all the pictures regulated, and it's just a simple reminder for the guys to keep it in that pattern each time.
Yeah, exactly. On the plugs, again, the customer can see there's no corrosion on these. One there. Going to get the mounting points as well so they can be seen and they're not broken. And any part numbers that are on there. Just helps the customer, if they are comparing, they have theirs out the vehicle, they can find the right part online. Right, let's move this light to the next station and then we can carry on with the other parts, I reckon.
Beautiful. Brilliant. So what we've got around this side is the computer and processing station where we can downgrade, add comments, and we check the weights and we check the pictures to see if we've done a good job of taking the images.
Fantastic. Right, so we've got the tag number, let's enter it on the system. Perfect. Right, let's check the images then.
Yeah, I'm happy with what you see. You see the product, you've got the surrounding of it, so brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Right, let's edit the comments. So I've mentioned about the part number before, where we won't put that into that box, but we'll add it into any comments what I see on the part. Let's add that on.
What you need to do now is just print off a tag that we can put on the product ready for when it's packaged.
Cool. Right, got the tag.
Stick it in the box,
that's
ready
for
to
the
go
box.
to the packers.
That's ready to go packing. Let's get it packed then, come on. Right, I'm gonna grab the part out then, Dan.
Brilliant.
Cool.
So the first thing you need to be doing, because this is tail light and a fragile item, I want to see you bubble wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So you've got your bubble wrap here and you've got a tape gun next to you. I'll be sending all more Christmas presents down to you, buddy.
I didn't get any this year, I was on the naughty list, Dan.
Well, yeah. Right, so what we want to do is grab the relevant box. We'll go for this size here. Right, so let's put you under a bit of pressure, eh?
God, man. Again, I haven't done this for years, but you've tested me down.
Right, we use the lovely Trent tape.
Oh, yeah.
You do not want to use sellotape, so
Give me one
take
of
a bit of that.
Give me one of them then.
Right, so you've assembled the box.
On,
Let's just set this machine up so you get the right size coil. Right, all you want to do is click the pay button and then rotate it as it comes out.
Oh, man.
That's it, so it looks like a lovely snail. It will stop automatically. Right, so we want to stuff that in the bottom nice and flat.
And then
put the light in.
Light in.
And then we want to press the play button and put another coil on top.
This may, whoever's watching, this may seem a bit overkill, but what we found out, we just need to protect tail lights and headlights extra. They are the most fragile items, and couriers like to play rugby with things. And some of these tail lights and headlights, they can be 200, 300, 500, even £1,000 headlights. And these headlights that we see come through down are not cheap, so it's good to push that down.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Now we'll just stick the sticker on the top left, just so when it goes to the warehouse, they can identify it easily. Yeah,
perfect. Cool.
And because we have a fragile item, we just stick a couple of them on there.
Yeah, sorted. Right, that's ready. That's all packed. That's ready to go on the shelf. Just over there, we'll get the other parts done as well. Thanks to Dan for showing us the component processing area. He does a great job here. A lot's changed really, isn't it, in the last kind of 12 months in this area.
Yeah, we'll keep developing and just improving. That's where we want to go. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, Dan, keep up the good work. Thanks for showing us this area, and let's see if we can actually make some money back on these Mercedes parts.
That's it. Let's give it a go, shall we? Eh?
So that's all packed. It's going to sit in the pile here, ready to be put away with the others later on today. But once they're put away, it's going to go back into this distribution centre here. So you'll see everything is pre-packaged. We've got the pallets on top because they're the less common items to pull out, so the boxes are lower because we send more parcels out. But if we go down this rack in here, it really is something quite unique. So you would think it would make sense, you'd stock all the tail lights here and the headlights there, but no, we've stocked everything based on volumetric weight. So you'll see here we've got a Honda CR-V driver's tail light here, the 2018 model, next to a fog lamp, next to a window mechanism. So it's all done on volumetric weights. So we've got specific box sizes, so we know how much space we've got everything where. Our system, warehouse management system, will tell us the most efficient picking route and tell us where the space is and how much space we've got left. So, so yeah, really marvellous kind of technology we put in here from the old days. And this distribution centre's picking and putting away parts from 6 AM in the morning to 12 at night. So fingers crossed, these Mercedes parts, they're going to sell pretty quickly, and the guys will be pulling them straight out the shelves. We've dismantled the Mercedes, we've got all the parts on the shelf, it's just a waiting game now. But up next is the most important part, it's the make or break for this Mercedes. You have to like and subscribe to find out next time.